My name is Richard Crawford. I'm a screenwriter, and I have some tools that I found useful that I've developed with a friend called Spencer Wright, another screenwriter. And we use these all the time, and they're very effective. So the first one is a thing called but so. Okay, the word but and the word so. You use this tool when you're trying to structure your story. Alright, so you may have a lot of incidents, you may have a lot of ideas for scenes, you may have a lot of concepts for individual interactions between characters, but stringing them together into a story is just escaping it, it's eluding it. You know there's a story in there, but you can't quite get it pulled out into a structure. So what you basically do, you make a list of all the things that you've got, all the scenes, all those little incidents, you make a list. In between each of those scenes, you put the word but, or you put the word so, and you link each one like that. In doing that, you're giving a kind of energetic pull between the first scene and the second scene, or the first story beat and the second story beat. To give you an example, James Bond, Dr. No, the very first James Bond film. To use the first few scenes of that as an example. So the British Secret Intelligence Service agent in Jamaica is killed. So James Bond is called in from his casino, but they can't find him. So a man is sent out to locate him and track him down. But James Bond has a girlfriend that night. So he waits with the girlfriend, he does the business with the girlfriend, and then takes the plane the next day to Jamaica. But there's someone waiting for him at the airport in a hire car who's working for the opposition. So James Bond has to fight him and overpower him and take his gun. You'll find that it gives a really good sense of energy between interconnected scenes. And the other thing you'll find out is that you'll find out where a certain scene needs to go in the sequence, or a certain story beat needs to go in the structure of your story. I use it a lot. You may have to do it 5, 6, 7 times to get the benefit of it with one story. Rearrange things all the time. Write stuff out on index cards and put a big but or so in between them. But you find it's very handy. I use it a lot. The second tool is a thing called electric narrative. Slightly more difficult to understand. And it's a tool that will help you to pace your story to make sure you're getting the best dramatic effect from the story beats and from the elements in that story. So if you take each scene or story beat, imagine that it has a charge, like an electric charge, and it's either a positive charge or a negative charge. Now this charge is associated with your lead character, your protagonist, James Bond, or Maximus in Gladiator. That is your lead character. So think about each scene and how it is charged for him. I mean, for instance, the first scene in Gladiator is a big battle scene where he defeats the Gallic army. Very positive charge. So that whole sequence is positively charged for him. Now the idea with this is to make sure that you don't have 3 positive scenes followed by a 4th positive scene, because after 3 you'll find that gets too dull. The rule of 3 comes in here, which is another rule we can talk about later, but 3 positive scenes followed by a negative, or 3 negative scenes followed by a positive. I don't know why it works, but if you break that rule and have 4 negative scenes or 4 positive scenes, i.e. 4 story beats with a negative charge or a positive charge for your main character, you find it doesn't work so well. If you want to build the excitement a little bit, you can alternate between scenes, so it's positive, negative, and you'll get a certain kind of energy from that. What that technique is doing is forcing you to look at each scene that you've written, or each story beat that you've written, and work out exactly what is going on for your protagonist in there. Is it good for him or her, or is it bad for him or her? And when you have an understanding of that, you'll have a better understanding of the structure of your movie. The skeleton will hang together better. It's a good tool, and I use it a lot.